Thanks indeed for staying with us here on Channels TV. It's the final lap of the program. But let's get some perspectives now and commentaries as regards the November 5 elections in the U.S. Dr. Oni-Eseleh is the founding director of Social Works Program, University of Delaware. He joins us from New York. Thanks indeed, Doctor, for agreeing to speak with us here on Channels TV. Typically, a vice presidential debate is viewed as the undercard, a clash largely overlooked by voters in recent years, but Walz and Vance's bouts have attracted outsiders' attention. So I wonder, do you think voters might be more interested than usual to see both men go head-to-head this time?
I think so, and there are several reasons why. I can tell you that we are currently dealing with multiple situations. And for example, the current election period really reminds us of what I would describe as a coalition of intersectionalities. Intersectionalities of race, gender, and immigration. And so even the vice presidential candidates, especially on the Republican side, represent various aspects of those conversations. And as you know, during the last presidential elections, the former president of the United States, Mr. Trump, made an allegation about Haitian immigrants, though he knew it wasn't true. And that has actually sparked a lot of issues in that area because he continues to repeat that, and his vice presidential candidate continues to repeat that. And so that is really going to come to play in the debate next week. It actually also stimulates, I would say, significant interest as people look forward to that debate, to hear not only how that will play out, but also how the policies of the former president will be articulated, because so far he has not been able to articulate his policies. I think he just wants people to believe what he says, because we know that historically he's been a very good salesman. He's also a very good salesman for the positions that he takes.
Yes, Doctor.
Whether they're positions into life or not.
Yes. So I have to squeeze in as many questions as possible. In terms of debates, preparations, and strategy, what's your analysis of how both men will approach this high and crucial debate?
The approach will actually depend on who they are. Mr. Vance is an attorney, so he's going to come as an attorney, but he's also going to come with a list, the list of things that he has been saying. So he's going to try and really shout over the other guy who is the teacher. But that guy is a teacher who also comes from a very tough part of the country. So they are both going to come very prepared. I am not sure that they're going to really change many hearts, but they're both going to come prepared. I know that Mr. Walz has been preparing, and Mr. Vance, actually, as you can tell from the clip that you just played, he has been preparing as well. They are both very intelligent men. They both come, are cut from similar cloths, although they have led their lives in different ways. And so they'll be speaking to various segments of the country. But I think that even the segments that they speak to will actually come together at one point, because even the part of the country where Mr. Walz comes from is a part of the country where you can speak the language that people understand in the so-called red states, which is where Mr. Vance comes from. So I think that they're both going to come to this debate very prepared. I am personally looking forward to it.
Yes. Doctor, there are 19 electoral votes at stake here for Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. Pennsylvania is the biggest of the 7 key election presidential battlegrounds. How are both candidates faring so far as regards to these battleground states?
As we speak right now, Vice President Harris is up by 2 points in Pennsylvania. And it is a very critical state, which is why you have both candidates going there multiple times. And one of the reasons for that is that if the Vice President Harris wins Pennsylvania, the game is over, because she's going to win Michigan, where she's already up. She's most likely going to win Wisconsin. All she needs is Pennsylvania. And she has multiple paths to get to the presidency. Mr. Trump has a very narrow path. So it is really scorched earth for him. That's the way he's going about Pennsylvania. He really needs to win it. He has to win Pennsylvania to keep his hopes alive.
Mm. Well, Doctor, I'm afraid we are totally out of time. We have to leave it here for now and perhaps get to speak with you subsequently. But most thank you indeed for your analysis and commentaries. Both men, of course, are from the U.S. Midwest, and they claim to understand Americans like no other person does. We'll see how the debate unfolds on Tuesday next week. And, of course, we'll bring our viewers here in Nigeria and all around the world up to speed as things unfold as regards the race for the White House November 5. But most thank you indeed, Dr. Oni-Eseleh, live for us there in Delaware, founding director of Social Work Program, University of Delaware. Thanks indeed for analysis and perspectives on the program.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely.